Welcome to Trumpet Challenge Week 5. This week we will be doing something completely different where you get to make up a song and share it with us. But first I want to discuss Week 4 and review our entries and then choose a winner because we had some really creative, fun, interesting, and somewhat amazing entries for this week. Week 4 was 1 + 1 = 1. Meaning we take two players and we divide up every other bar in a song to create one continuous melody. This can be more challenging than it seems, and I recorded 2 tracks playing every other measure, and I spliced the 2 together, and I found myself that it was very difficult to do. But this is something I used to do in lessons often, where whoever was sitting next to me would play every other bar, or every 2 bars, or every 4 bars, and we'd finish each other's phrases, and we would learn to match each other's tone and phrasing and of course intonation. So this is a great exercise you can use in the studio yourself. Find a friend or your student or your teacher and play every other bar and really just try to make it a seamless, beautiful melody. And this is something that happens in band and orchestra all the time. Composers will take a motif or a full phrase and they'll divide it up maybe from the low brass all the way up to the flutes and the piccolos, and the trumpets may just play 2 or 3 bars of a continuous melody. That kind of thing is very common in many compositions, and this is a great way to practice that. Every one of our champions each week will receive a champion bell that says, hey, I was one of the Trumpet Challenge 2018 champions. Meaning, if you took first place, you're going to get one of these in the mail, and it's just a cool little trophy, a little souvenir that we 3D printed. This shows that you won that week, but with every champion, you get an entry into the drawing for the Harrelson HT6 prototype carbon fiber horn. And that's the horn right behind me here. So this trumpet will be given away in a random drawing, and that will happen in just a few months. So we'll make more announcements in the coming weeks. But you can earn entries into the drawing by winning the Trumpet Challenge. You can also earn entries other ways, and we announce those each week. The HT6 is one of our first horns to have a carbon fiber lead pipe with the Venturi gap receiver, meaning you can remove this receiver, change the inserts inside, which would allow you to essentially change the feel of the horn so that you can find the flexibility, slotting, and airflow that fits you individually. It's essentially like having 100 different horns all in one. Other carbon fiber parts include the 3/4 inch bottom caps, which are strong but very light, top caps, and eventually we'll offer other things like the finger buttons, maybe even the tuning slide and the bell crook. So this is a very unique horn that will go to the winner of the drawing. Each of this week's entries had something unique about them that's worth mentioning. So I'm going to go through each one and we're going to explore them together, narrowing it down to find that one winning team that really had the best example of 1 + 1 = 1. So the first team that I'd like to mention was Cameron and Nathan, and these guys were pretty cool because they were wearing concert attire. And let's just take a look.
I'm Cameron Nielsen, and this is
Nathan Greenwood.
and this is our entry for the Trumpet Challenge Week 4,
And we're going to be playing an excerpt from Dance on number 2.
which is normally played on flugels, but you know, it's a Trumpet Challenge, so
And we're the best, so.
yeah, that's pretty true.
The next team I'd like to introduce was David and Kris. David and Kris did something that I like to do all the time. They took a solo piece for trumpet and they divided it up every other bar. This was Concert Etude by Gedeke. Our next team is made up of Kevin and Cable, and they played Gloria by Vivaldi. The interesting part of this one is that one player was on a piccolo trumpet, the other was on a C trumpet. Let's take a look. Robert and Matthew, I believe, just used maybe even an inexpensive cell phone to record their video, which is pretty simple. You can just set it up somewhere or get one of those inexpensive tripods, press record, and just let it go. These guys had really seamless phrasing. The next entry is Ethan and Kris. Now theirs was pretty hilarious because they started out their video speaking every other word of their introduction. And I'll mention this, in the Trumpet Challenge videos, really a lot of times we're judging for the most creative, the most entertaining, and the best playing. So it's the whole package. And these guys were a lot of fun because they combined that extra element of reading every other word as if they were playing every other bar. Let's hear these guys.
Hi, Jason. I'm Ethan. And I'm Kris. Today, we're going to play for you a solo by Kenny Dorham called Prince Albert.
Our next team is made up of Mr. Kramer and Mr. Gerhardt. These guys clearly are teachers, and they did a great job of playing Charlier's Etude number 2. Do you have any ideas on who may win this week's challenge? Well, our next entry comes from Charles and Dylan. And the interesting thing about these guys is they're both playing Harrelson VPS Summit trumpets. Our next entry is a video that was spliced with 2 different players in 2 different countries, one in the United States and the other in the Netherlands. Here we have John and Riger. If you look closely at this next video, you're going to see another Harrelson VPS Summit, and you're also going to hear one of my favorite excerpts from Mahler's Fifth. This is Bob and Joe.
Hey Jason, Bob Woodard, Joe Gregorio here. For Trumpet Challenge week number 4, we're going to give you a little bit of Mahler 5.
Our next entry is from Marcia and Evan. They are playing the Nutcracker. All right, our next entry is a cool bebop tune, Donna Lee, and that comes from Leo and Ben. Nice job, guys.
Hello, my name is Leo Maxey.
And my name's Ben Farrar.
And together we're going to play Donna Lee.
And we have another jazz tune. In this video, I think you're going to see a bravura trumpet. This is Jim and John. Trumpet challenges are open to all ages, and we do choose based on the most fair system we come up with, which is just looking at everything and deciding what kind of effort you've put in to create a nice video. Whether you win or not, it's a lot of fun to be part of this. You get your video up on YouTube, you may be mentioned in our videos, and I encourage students and professionals of all ages and all abilities to enter. The next one we have is a student and teacher. Dave and Lewis. In this next video, you're going to see a black mod kit, and it's a lot of fun to see so many of our clients participating in the videos. I just want to mention that it's not a requirement. If you look back in the video clip so far, you'll see some 5mm modular mouthpieces, some mod kits, and some horns. You don't have to play on any of our equipment to be a part of the Trumpet Challenge, but this one, they did. We have Bill and Michael. So who are this week's winners of Trumpet Challenge number 4, which is 1 + 1 = 1? Well, I spent a lot of time watching all these videos, and as a team here at Harrelson Trumpets, we reviewed them, and we discovered that there were a few that were really, really good in terms of phrasing, blending everything together, so it almost sounded like one player. But for me to choose the winners, I actually played the videos, and I didn't watch the videos afterwards. I just let them play in the background. And there was one clear winner, and there was a runner-up. These two were both bebop tunes, and I was very impressed at how seamless some of the lines were. So our winners for this week, who will be the champions, and each of you will win one of these bells and an entry into the carbon fiber trumpet giveaway. That would be Evan and Kris. Congratulations. Great video, and let's hear another clip. And our honorable mention, second place, even though you don't get a prize, at least I'm going to mention it. Playing Donna Lee, we had Leo and Ben. Great job, guys. Two weeks ago, we had the 5-bar frenzy, where I played a piece, really just 5 bars, and you had to transcribe that and then play it back. That was a very challenging week. We only had a dozen or so entries, and I think it's mostly because it was kind of hard. I'm not sure that I would have done any better than some of you transcribing what I had written. But I have 3 transcriptions. I asked everyone to submit their transcriptions and then share them with me so that I could choose which one was closest to the original. Well, if you look at the second 2 lines here, this is the original. So that is my handwriting of what I created, and the closest was from Adam. This was your transcription. You win an extra entry into the HT6 trumpet. Congratulations. Now we get to week 5. This week's challenge is going to be open mic night with a theme of winter. And I chose the theme winter because it's winter time, and the prize is going to be this wintry, icy looking 5mm modular mouthpiece with this beautiful artist body. So this mouthpiece will be the prize for this week, and I'll get it up there nice and close so you can see. There it is. I will set up this mouthpiece with 2 different configurations, a 9-piece kit that will fit your playing and your preferences exact. With all of our 5mm modular mouthpieces, we guarantee a perfect fit, and we give you a 30-day exchange period where you can interchange any of the parts. You send them back to us, we'll send you more parts, and we'll make sure it's going to be a perfect fit. So if you play a 14A4A or a Bach 1.5C or a Monet B6 or whatever it might be, we can interchange the components and build that and even customize it. So the winner of week 5 will receive this mouthpiece, and it will come in this box, and you will have 9 total pieces. So I'll open that up for you. And this is definitely a prize worth playing for. The entire kit is worth over $400, and believe me, it could really change your playing. We're also going to have a second prize this week. the person who has the video with the most likes is going to win an extra entry into the trumpet drawing. And remember, if you're champion, you get one of these bells and you automatically get an entry into the HT6 Carbon Fiber horn. This week, the second prize, the person with the most likes on YouTube, will win an entry as well. So open mic night means that you can play whatever you like so long as it's something that you have written yourself or you have free improvised. And the emphasis this week is on the theme of winter. So I would like to see submissions where you're introducing yourself, because that's a big part of understanding what you're playing and why. So have an introduction, speak a little bit, and if you don't want your face on camera, that's fine. Still, add the voice, speak for us. Tell us what it's about. What was your inspiration for creating either this free improvisation or an actual piece that you wrote? There's no length limit, so you can make your video as long as you like. Remember, if you want to win the most likes, then videos that are under 3 minutes usually get more likes. So you want to introduce it, you want to tell us why you chose to write this piece, and I'll give you an example here in a minute. Creativity, location, props, even costume, all those things will play a part. So if you decide to take this winter theme all the way, and you go to the top of a ski resort, and you're playing your piece on skis, or you take it out in the woods and there's 6 feet of snow, whatever it might be, you can have as many props or use your location to your advantage, whatever you can do to make us think about winter. If you're in Florida or Barbados, then it'll be more of a challenge, but you can be creative, have fun with it, and let's just create the coolest video sharing your music. So the emphasis is on that, but also on what you can do, what you can create. So if you're a younger player and you've never written a piece before, this may encourage you to sit down with some staff paper, write some things out, and perform it for us. If you're a pro and you can improvise like any of the best, then go for it. But what we really want to hear is something that evokes winter. And the introduction to this video was a little bit of that. I'm going to give you my example of my winter piece. Hi, I'm Jason Harrelson, and this is my submission for the Trumpet Challenge Week 5, which is Open Mic Night Winter. I have not written a piece because I had a lot to do before filming this video and I didn't have time to write one. But I'm going to free improvise something that I think will evoke the feeling and kind of the tone of winter. I live in Denver, Colorado, where I ski a lot of times on the weekends, and I get out and hike and snowshoe. And I really love winter. I love hearing the snow, or seeing the snow fall, and hearing the few birds and animals that are out there. And really, I like the silence. So I like to hear space between notes. So my piece is really going to focus on some notes, but some space and some dynamics. And here is my submission for winter.